Hello, sir. How are you?
What's up? How you doing, man? I'm doing
Good,
good.
man.
How you
How's
guys
it
doing?
going? You in camp?
Yeah, man. We're 3.5 weeks ready to go. Super excited. Everything's going well, and can't wait.
Where's camp at? Where you guys at?
We're in Miami, Florida.
Yeah, right. I heard about that. Right. Who's David been sparring with?
We got we've been he's been in camp, man. We've been sparring a lot of guys, man. But right now the main sparring is Daniel Blancas. We have Julio Porras. As a matter of fact, Julio Porras leaves tomorrow. He has a fight next week. And we had a guy. Where's he from? No, doesn't. He's from Russia. I forgot his name, man. I'm really bad with Russian names. And what's the other guy's name? The ones that were sparring. We had like a Luis Ken? Luis Jr. We had like about 5, 6 guys, man. To be honest with you, and we paid them, and then uh, we're blessed, man. We're blessed. We have a lot of guys here sparring, so it's man.
That's
Uh,
great. Do you guys ever spar with heavyweights?
um, Pretty much David's whole career. When he was 15, 16, he fought Latif Coyote, Kid Chocolate. Back then, he was super. So, but we always spar big guys, to be honest with you. Um, so we continue to do that.
And so I've asked David this, and I forgot what he said. But is he 6'2" or is he 6'3"? Like, what's his actual height?
Hey, to be honest, man, I think he's still growing a little bit. I don't know. They said that he's 6'3", 6'2". I think he's like 6'3". I think, to be honest with you.
Big dude. So uh, Vazdiag. How you pronounce? I don't even know how you pronounce his name. Vazdiag? No. How you
Uh,
pronounce his name?
Fighting,
The guy's fighting Vazdig. Vazdig?
I can't even say it either. I can't.
Vazdig is 6'3", right? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he's a little tall. Actually, as a matter of fact, David sparred him when he was 20, 21. We sparred him a few times.
Oh, you sparred him already. Okay.
David,
Okay. Could you talk about how that went?
what was that?
Hey, could you talk about how that sparring went? What do you remember from it?
Alexander, he was already up there. I think he was a champion at that time. David was coming up. He did very well. He's a great fighter, Alexander, and it was great work, man. It was really good work.
Yeah, because I guess this will be the first. Will this be the first fighter that is your son's actual height in a pro in the pro in the pro ranks?
Oh, I think so, actually. Yeah, they're about the same right there. So maybe a little bit taller, or maybe the same. But yeah, this is the tallest. I don't know how much Caleb Plant was, but Caleb Plant's pretty tall.
Yeah, I was surprised. I think he's like 6'1" though. I think he's a couple inches shorter, but yeah. I mean, David was to me. I'm a big advocate for your son. I always think that he should be in the top pound for pound. I guess the reason why some people don't talk about that is because I guess his resume isn't as big as somebody like Bud Crawford or whatever. But the way David dominates fighters, to me, it almost evens out the fact that he's fought everybody in his division, and of course, the one guy who would really catapult him is doesn't want to fight him.
As a matter of fact, right now I was in Instagram and I just saw that he says that, hey guys, I fought everybody that you guys wanted me to fight. That's Canelo. And, now I'm going to do whatever I want. And somebody says, well, why don't you fight David Benavidez? He says, well, you know, that guy brings 25 pounds to 20 pounds to the fight. Why? That's not the problem. The problem is if they pay me $200 million, I would definitely fight him. But why did he say anything about Macau heavyweight? You know, why didn't he say anything about all these other fighters that he wanted to fight? At the end of the day, see what people don't understand is that David watches his food and he's been down like a lot. Just to show the people that he doesn't have any problems at 168. You know, it takes him a couple of months, to stay at that weight. don't you think that it would be kind of dumb in our part and to gain a lot of weight? You could get sick, and why would you eat clean food and the day after weigh-ins, why would you want to eat bad fuel? you know. So a lot of people don't understand. We're gonna come up the same. It doesn't. People don't really gain unless it's like UFC and all that. But David's young, and we want to keep him at that way that he's fine or where he's at. To be honest with you, because otherwise he'll get slower, and bad fuel is not good for you. So we got to maintain that body, and try not to get sick so you can perform at your best.
Right, right. That makes sense. So are you at liberty to say how much weight he actually puts on, like the night of the fight? Like, what's he at?
Well, he doesn't go as much. He gains like about 15 pounds. How many pounds do you think Canelo gains?
Probably about that, maybe more.
So, it'll be like 2, 3 pounds. So, but this is what I like about all these people. When they don't want to fight a guy and they think they're going to lose, they come up with all these excuses. Remember when they said Charlo wanted to fight? He said, "Oh, I will not fight a guy under 22. Oh, I won't fight a guy if it's not vaccinated. Oh, I will." Everybody, because they know that they could get beat. And to me, to be honest, I feel good and I feel, wow, these guys are scared, David. They don't want to face him because, oh, it's not, they're not scared. No fighter's scared, whatever. What is it that, if you don't want to fight somebody, it's because you're going to lose. If it's David so easy, he hasn't accomplished anything, easy money. I definitely think that he could definitely get easy 75 million, I think easy. But I think, they could do the 100 million, but just 200 million, I think it's just a lot the way that, he's not bringing any numbers no more. So it's a big risk.
I mean,
Um,
how frustrating is that for you guys when Canelo does stuff like that?
the thing is, how the way the organizations run their business, it's kind of weird. Now, I hear that they strip them out of some other belts. Other federations, other organizations are stripping all these other guys. They just strip Usyk, you know,
Yeah, I heard.
like, and at the end of the day, I just don't know why, they're not fair with other fighters. We've been waiting for 3 years. We've been mandatory for 3 years. We beat the guys that we're supposed to beat in order to get the opportunity. Munguia comes over and he gets the opportunity right away, and I see why, because he doesn't have the experience, and Canelo knows that he can beat him. Now he wants to fight Berlanga, or the other guy that nobody knows. I don't even know the name of the guy that the mandatory now or the one that they're thinking about fighting. To
It's
be honest, think people want to see those fights. But
absolutely. I mean, it's
I'm not
it's
frustrated. We're going to 175 and try to prove ourselves. We got to continue proving ourselves to look impressive and keep going. Because we're not going to sit here and wait. Now the organization, the WBC is saying that we left. Well, I wonder why. Well, what are we doing at 168, bro? And here, at least, we have an opportunity to fight for the interim belt and hopefully Bivol or Beterbiev fights with David. It's an easier fight to make. These guys don't have a lot of pull, and these guys want to fight because they have no choice.
it's one of the biggest, and I don't talk about this stuff much, but you can't ignore this. It's one of the biggest ducks in a long time that he's avoiding your son. It's to me, when he said the 25 pounds, that to me said the most. I feel like he's scared because David seems bigger to him, and he already had problems going up against Bivol, so I feel like he sees that David's even more trouble than Bivol. That's kind of what I got from it when he said that.
Who's going to fight Macau? Macau is a Macau for the
Hmm.
belt. Why didn't he say anything about that? That's like a lot of weight.
Yeah.
But that's not a problem.
Yeah, yeah, no, totally. Did you ever think of like Mexican to Mexican, you just trying to contact him directly and you talk to him, or you never thought of doing that?
I would not do anything. When a fighter doesn't want to fight a fighter, it doesn't matter
I
what
thought
you do.
maybe because he's real, he really cares about his people, his country, and being the fact that you guys are from the same place. I don't know, I thought maybe it would do something.
Well, haven't you heard of what he says? He doesn't care. Hey, he's gonna
Yeah.
fight once. He don't care about you. He don't care about nobody. He's gonna do what he wants. So at the end of the day, Is he a true champion? Champions are supposed to fight whoever deserves to be. We're going to be in the same position later on.
Hmm.
Uh, they're young, stronger, and want to be champions. And you're going to have to face them when you're the face of boxing. When you're the champion, you got to keep proving yourself. If not, you got to let those belts go because
Right.
there are other fighters that are hungry and they want to be champions also.
Yeah. So I guess now, do you guys think you're gonna, besides Canelo, if that happens, do you think you're gonna go back to 68 at all anymore?
Man, let's see how this goes. At the end of the day, we're not focused on Canelo. I don't want to know nothing about Canelo at this point. We have a tough fight at 175. We're fighting a guy that was an Olympian. He was a world champion. He only has one loss to Beterbiev. So he's a dangerous fighter, man. How can I talk about Canelo and this and that? And we got to beat this guy. We got to look impressive in order to keep going and for people to keep talking about us. This is
Hmm.
not. It's in another weight, and this guy is going to prepare himself like never before because if he beats David, he becomes a superstar right away. He might even get a fight with Canelo. He might even get a fight with whoever. It doesn't make sense. If we win, what do we really win? You know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And those Ukrainians are doing pretty well lately. So
yeah, for sure. But at the end of the day, these are the tests. We got to keep proving ourselves, and um, I believe that things are going to get better. So we just got to keep hustling and keep working and keep proving ourselves. And thank God, that we have a lot of fans thanks to Canelo. Now, a lot of fans have recognized the talent of David and the hard work, and people love him. People love him. And at the end of the day, we're not losing anything. I shouldn't be upset. We're in a great position.
yeah, I actually just made a video. I don't know if you ever see my videos, but um, I made a video about David, and David to me is one of the most complete fighters in boxing. But I feel like he gets this stigma sometimes that he's just like a flat-footed guy who just comes forward and throws punches, and he has nothing, no other layers, which is so untrue. You know, I think a lot of times David can take a couple shots, and once he feels that, he's okay with taking a couple to give a couple. But I've seen him use tremendous defense when he wants to.
David, we're focusing on after the Caleb Plant fight. Actually, before the Caleb Plant, we started focusing a lot on more defense, footwork. And different defenses and working a lot on the jab. David's only 27 years old, man, and I feel that he still has like about 2, 3 more years to get better and better and better. And you guys haven't really seen what he can do because at the end of the day, all these fighters don't want to fight him. So we got to go cut the ring off and we got to cut the distance and hurt them. But I know that there is going to be a fighter there stronger than David or that's going to come forward and maybe we're going to have to box them and use angles and kind of box them a little bit, but we haven't had the need of doing those adjustments right now. The adjustments that we kind of do right now, we got to hunt them. We got to cut the distance little by little. We got to hit the body and then put them out and throw the.
That's a great point. So do you think at light heavyweight you're automatically gonna maybe face guys like that with that are gonna have more power that you're gonna have to box?
Alexander has a lot of footwork. He's an Olympian. The plan is to keep doing what we do, but we got to be able to be ready to make adjustments, and see. We're still going to fight the same way, but like I said, it all depends on every round. First round, we got to see what kind of adjustments we got to make, and second round, third round, or whatever. So we're ready. We're ready to make those adjustments. And the good thing that I feel comfortable, and David makes me feel comfortable, is because he can do all those adjustments, and we just got to see, I can't uh, see a fighter that fought like 6 months or 3 months. And now I want to watch him and see what he does. Every time they step in the ring, they fight a different way, or they have to deal with the pressure or the countering or the jab or whatever. We have to adjust right away. We got to make those adjustments right away. Everybody fights differently every time they step in the ring.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Who do you think, looking ahead, I know you don't want to look ahead, but I'm just curious, who do you think between Bivol and Beterbiev, who do you think would be a better matchup for your son? Like who would he have more success against? I'm not saying he would lose to either, but who would he have better success against?
Alexander. Um, I got to look ahead a little bit too. We got to see. I'm super comfortable that David's going to go there and look impressive and beat this guy. We have to. We have to. There's no other choice.
Of course.
But at the same time, we're not gonna underestimate him. And he's a great fighter. He's a good guy and a big test. But in our mind, we can't lose, man. There's no room to think that we're gonna lose. So we are gonna go there, give you guys a good show and look impressive. And I think everything's gonna be okay. Everything's gonna come out the way we want it to come. We the guys that we want to fight is those two guys. Those are the monsters of the division, Beterbiev and Bivol. I would like, in my perfect world, I would like to face Bivol. The reason I would like to face Bivol is because I want that revenge against those Mexicans. He beat Artur Ramirez, he beat Canelo. Once David beats the one, beat the one, then we become the best. And after that, there's going to be no doubt. Yeah, you want to go on your shield like that, retire the way, not fighting David. It's up to you, but that name is always going to be hunting you for the rest of your life. So that's the only reason I want to do that, because it's a big test for us. Bibol's another great fighter, a very dangerous fighter. We spar Bivol also, and
Mhm.
like about 6, 7 years ago. And sparring is not the same, but David did super good 6, 7 years ago when David was not even David. So at the end of the day, he will get the recognition by beating Bivol. It's a tough fight also, but those are the fighters that we want to face. We want to face nothing but the best and the dangerous fighters, and the fight that the people want to see. That will be another great fight. If we're successful with that, then we would like to face a Beterbiev, and that's another great fight. So he has those two big fights lined up in case it doesn't work over here on the other side. But we're willing to fight 175, come down to 168 if the organization say do what they say they're gonna do. We have no problem coming down and fighting for WBC world title at 168.
Okay, well, let me ask you kind of separately, but who do you think wins between Beterbiev and Bivol if they fight?
I think that fight is a great fight. I believe that Alexander will win by decision. And if Beterbiev wins, it has to be by knockout. I
You
think
mean Dimitry Bivol wins by decision?
Yeah, Dimitry Bivol. Yeah, if he wins, he has to win by decision. He has more combinations, a little bit more speed. Beterbiev is just a fucking animal. He hits hard. And if he catches Bivol, I think he could definitely. But combinations and speed, I think Bivol has that. Power is Beterbiev.
Have
Both
you
of them.
ever
Or
have you
so.
guys ever sparred Beterbiev?
Oh no, not him. Never. I never even met him, to be honest with you. But I just see him on TV. He's a great fighter, a big animal. So I mean, it's scary. That guy is very scary. Actually, hey, the only loss that Alexander has is through him. He beat him. He got.
Yeah. Yeah.
He has one loss.
So we watched Usyk win a close decision. So it makes me start thinking about David. David has all of the physical tools to possibly go to heavyweight one day. Do you guys ever think about that?
Of course, that's the plan. David has the height for it. He's only 27 years old. The body changes, and why not? He's tall, he's big. I think that's where he belongs. A lot of people say that. He belongs in the heavyweight division. But right now he's young, so I see David as a James Toney. Started super in a light way and just kept going up, and he became a heavyweight. So I think definitely he could definitely do that in a couple of years, maybe 3, 4 years. That's a plan. Go to 175, see what we can do there, and hopefully everything goes well. And then the other thing is maybe fight Surdo Ramirez at 175. See how that goes, and eventually move up, try the heavyweight division. At the end of the day, it's whatever it goes. However things go. That David's only 27 years old, so I believe that he has a lot of years in boxing. So, and he's doing well. He hasn't been hit that much, and I think he's a fresh boxer.
Yeah, I mean, is he? Last time we had talked, you had told me how he's a real student and he's always talking to you like, "Oh, Dad, I just saw this fight and this guy do this, and let's try this." Is he still coming with all this knowledge all the time?
I just look at I see him like kind of crazy, man. To be honest with you, you know, and I love to use that word crazy because only crazy people do great things. If you're normal, you're not going to do anything. You know, only the crazy people don't like they like to risk and go all out, and that's what he does. You know, he's very connected spiritually. He's super good, you know, mentally he's super good, and he's connecting with the universe. And you know, I see him in the morning running. We're in Miami, so we run, and then he goes on the water and connects with the sand and the water and the sun. And you know, he tells me, you know, he believes in all these stones, you know, that have good energy and pyramids and all that, you know. And I'm getting into that because I always believe that, yeah, that's a lot of energy there. So there's you know, with the frequencies, you know, he's very into that. And you know, all those things, man. He's in another level, man. He's in another planet, bro, to be honest with you. And when I see that, you know, it's like, wow, man, you know, he's taking me to another world just by seeing him, what he does. I watch him every day. I see what he does. You know, he prays, you know, and he connects, and he does a lot of yoga and a lot of stuff, you know, to meditate. That's what the word that I was looking for. He meditates a lot, you know, you know, it's crazy because a lot of people don't know about the frequencies, you know, the tones and all that. And my other son is starting to do that a lot too, Junior. So man, to me, it's wow, you know, when you do all those things, you know, you want to get better.
So David's like he's like obsessed with boxing, basically, right?
Watches a lot of boxing. He writes a lot of stuff down every day, man. Every day he has a list of something, you know. Every day he has a list of something. He watches a lot of boxing, and he comes out with different things, you know. To be honest with you, there's nothing I can show him anymore, you know. I'm learning from him, you know, watching him. You know, to be honest with you, I'm just, oh wow, I like that. Oh, let's do that. You know, he's just so ahead of his years. You know, and it's amazing to be working with them and being with them and seeing how, you know, he's looking for more things to get better at.
Yeah, I mean, there's a for those people watching, and there's a clip of him sparring Pavlik when he's like what 15.
Yeah, 15, 14. Yeah.
I mean, he looks um, insane how advanced he looks. How old was he when he started boxing?
Started boxing. He started boxing when he was as soon as he started walking. You know, he used to crawl in the boxing ring. Now he used to train his brother. He crawl, and then little by little, you know, he kind of with one hand he will hold the canvas and the other one throwing little by little. He started walking, and then he would do the little shuttle boxing and hitting the mids and all that. And he was born there, man. You know, to be honest with you, his first sparring session was at 2 years old. His first match exhibition was at 3 years old. With a
Wow.
6 year was always bigger than other kids. So he's been in boxing since he was born, and he's been training when he was crawling. You know, so. I mean, he's done it all his life. People think that he just came out of nowhere. You know, yeah, he did have like about 10, 8 amateur fights, but he's been training all his life.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I mean, you know, it clearly shows. Wow. So the fight's coming up on June 15th, correct?
Yes. Uh huh.
And, oh, that's on the tank. So that whole that's what is that, Amazon?
Yeah, yeah, you know, it's so funny because they call us and they say, "Hey, listen, we want to do a car. We don't know with Amazon Primes, and we're thinking maybe we could put tank. You think David's gonna get offended if we try to put him in there and to be the co-main event?" I'm like, "Hell no, man! It would be an honor, you know, to fight in Tank's car. We don't care, bro. We just want to stay active. We want to fight." You know, I want to give a big shout out to Al Heyman. You know, he takes care of David very well. He's done everything he said he was going to do, even more. So David gets paid very well. And I'm like, as long as he gets paid what he gets paid, you know, there's not a problem. Yeah, sure, no problem, you know. So it's an honor for us to be fighting in Tank's undercard. So it's not really an undercard. It's kind of like a double header kind of. And I'm so happy that they put Tank on the poster and then David on the posters, you know. So it's right there, And then Tank was super happy about it too. We're super excited, and it's a great thing, this is what boxing should do, And there's no egos, We just want to give you guys the fight that you guys want to see.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely David is definitely one of the most exciting fighters in the game. And so is Tank. So that's an explosive card. Alone. Um, how many days a week? I'm curious if you can to tell me how many days a week and how many rounds does David spar when he's in camp, like right now?
We have a plan. Um, it all depends on what we do. Like sometimes David wants to do 15 rounds, 20 rounds. He wants to run 6 miles, 7 miles, and then do strength condition and do all. We go on what the body says. He always trains super hard, man. Super hard. He does maybe like 7, 8, 9 rounds of shadow boxing, rope, and does a lot more things that he thinks that it's gonna help him. But every day he does like about shoot maybe 20, 30 rounds of workout, and intense. So it all depends on what we do, what we have, and all that, To be honest with you, now these days, he's getting real busy doing interviews and doing a lot of things, and so rehabs and meditations and all that, and we just combine what we did yesterday, what we're going to do tomorrow. So there's not really like a big. Some days he could do 8 rounds, some days he could do 20, some days he could do 15. So we kind of go up and down, and then kind of peak in there, and then let the body heal a little bit more, and it's a little bit different how we train. But we got to listen to the body, and we can't try to give too much to the body also.
Okay, okay. So what does he walk around at? You said about 15 pounds heavier?
But dude, he was supposed to be for a 30-day weigh, and he was supposed to be at 193, and he was at 184, 85. So he was really under the limit. Uh, so that's fighting at 175, and in 30 days, that's what we walk at 190, 180, 185, 180 something. So we're really close to do 168 also. So and that's how it is. The thing is, when David trains, he trains and wait. He's starting to learn his body a little bit more. He drinks a lot of water, and he's always trying to get better. And he's knowing his body more and more and more. So he knows, and he drinks a lot of water. And the secret to losing weight and staying healthy and hydrated is water.
He's one of those few guys that when a few times he actually gets hit, he gives a smile, which isn't that he's embarrassed. It's like, oh, I love this. Now I'm coming. Has he always had that competitive will? Like
Yeah,
what?
some people, it reminds me like this guy from Oxnard, California. What's Brandon?
Rios?
Rios, yeah, Rios. He said he fucking had orgasms, when he was fighting. I don't know if you ever heard that. Yeah, no, he said it a lot of
I
times.
think so. Yeah.
Some people just love to get hit, man, and that I was like, oh yeah, okay, let's go. So I think David, man, you hit him, and it's like, oh, okay, cool. Some people just like to get hit. He doesn't get hit a lot, but when he gets hit, he knows, okay, you got me. I'm gonna get you back. So I see that. He's been always doing that. Since he was little. He gets hit, and it's like, okay, you got me. Okay. Instead of getting mad, like, okay,
But
I'm a
is
cat.
is he like a competitive person in general in life?
And he's a very competitive person. He has to be the best in everything he does. And his mentality is of a warrior. That's why he's the Mexican monster. Uh, the funny thing about it, is that when he's outside the ring, he's the nicest person in the world.
Yeah,
He's
I know.
trying to help everybody. But you look at him, as soon as he steps inside the ring, his eyes changes, his face expression changes. Everything about him is just different. He's ready to go. He's locked in, and he means all business.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's obvious. Yeah, man. Well, look, man, I appreciate you talking to me. I wish you luck. You don't really need it, but I wish you luck on that fight. And let's talk after you guys get that knockout.
Yeah, no, for sure. Thank you so much. Yeah, stay tuned for all these fights that are coming up. We have a busy schedule. Everybody knows Ryan Valenzuela. He's fighting Pitbull. We're fighting for the WBC world title. No? It's the WBO. No, it's WBO or WBA. I don't even know, but we're fighting.
Mm.
I
Oh, one thing too before I forget, is Junior fighting again?
yeah, we're on negotiations right now to fight. Big news coming up soon. Diego Pacheco also, they moved him up to rank number one, and now he's mandatory for Canelo too. So that's very exciting now. So we're up there, man. We're trying to work hard. Thank you everybody for the support, and we're super excited. And thank you so much for all that love. We really appreciate it. We're gonna continue working hard to give you guys good fights.
Yeah, man, he's an easy fighter to root for. You know what I mean? Because everything about him. So, yeah, man. Well, again, thanks for talking to me. Let's talk soon.